Welcome to Lifestyle by Design, helping you solve everyday challenges. I'm Karen Jacobs, a professor at Boston University, an occupational therapist, and a Brookline Rotarian. And here's my co-host.
Hi, and I'm Andrea Calso, and we have a very exciting episode today. We're just kicked off the holiday season, and so we have some very fun guests who are going to be talking with us about food and the arts and all those things that I think actually go really well with this time of year. So we're very excited to be joined by Ty Furman. He's the managing director of the BU Arts Initiative. And we also have Nicole Parmenter, who is a private chef.
So welcome.
Very excited.
We're actually my two favorite things.
Yeah,
art
seriously.
And food. And we're all excited because Nicole's going to let us taste it.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. That's a surprise for me. Right before we got ready, I was like, I just want to nibble on everything.
So, Nicole, you're a private chef. Mm-hmm. What's that like?
It's pretty interesting. You get to meet a lot of interesting people. You get to see some beautiful homes, and I try to have fun in the process.
So when you're working, it sounds like fun, but when you're working with somebody, do they say, oh, I'm a vegetarian, or I'm vegan, I'm allergic to nuts, I want this or that? Or do you sort of like propose different recipes and menus to them as well?
Sometimes it depends on what they're looking for, but first and foremost, I always ask if they have any food allergies, dietary restrictions, and such. If they are interested in more nutritious food or more like homemade or like home style cooking, we'll say. So it really depends on the client.
So when you were getting trained to be a private chef, did you think about specializing in some area of food?
Not necessarily. To me, I love it all.
Woman after my own.
But I think it makes you more valuable if you do decide to learn other disciplines such as vegetarianism, gluten-free cooking, or if you specialize in any allergen-friendly cooking.
Okay, yeah. I have become allergic to nuts. I'm okay with those pecans.
Okay.
And I have an intolerance to bell peppers. And that, it's sort of evolving. And I always thought that, you were born with an allergy and it manifests itself when you're a kid, but it can develop over time. So being aware of that is so important, I think, as a chef.
Absolutely. You really have to take precautions when cooking for people, whether it's a full-blown allergy or a food intolerance.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my bell pepper allergy.
Yeah.
Intolerance.
Yes.
Intolerance.
Well, I'm glad you can have the nuts because this all looks really good.
What are you going to make?
So I brought with me the ingredients to make a pear, quinoa, and kale salad. It's one of my favorites.
Wow.
I make that quite often.
This sounds like a great holiday dish.
It is, and it's really quick. And the good thing about this is you can literally find all the ingredients prepared in any grocery store, or especially Whole Foods. They always have cooked quinoa, so if you wanted to save an extra step, you can get the pre-cooked quinoa, bring it home, chill it down. Kale is now sold broken up in a bag. Dried fruit and nuts are readily available. I think the only thing that I really had to prepare here was the pears, and I just cut them up and dressed them with a little bit of lemon juice.
I have to tell you a funny story about kale. I read somewhere that you have to massage kale.
What? That?
So that works because you're an OT.
One of my open hours at BU, we took many heads of kale and massaged them.
What exactly does massaging kale mean?
Well,
it helps if it's the full leaf, if you plan on making kale chips. You really want to massage the oil and the spices in there, and especially for the fact that kale has a lot of vitamin K in it.
It's very hardy because it's so thick. Compared to like other lettuce.
But kale is high in vitamin K, and that's a fat-soluble vitamin, so you really want to transport that fat in there and get it in there to reap the benefits.
So it's not so much that you want to massage it to open it up, it's to actually
give it a little rub.
So this is a thing. We confirmed it. You're not crazy.
I was a riot. I had some of the crew team there, and the women, they were so excited. It was like their exercise for the day. It was a riot. We still talk about massaging kale.
Yeah. Well, kale's such a hot commodity these days.
Great. But quinoa too.
Yeah, they're both superfoods. They're really, really
this
good
is like
for
a superfood salad.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, I love it.
So quinoa is protein?
It's a grain, but it is the only grain that has all 9 essential amino acids. Those are the ones that our bodies cannot produce. And it packs a good punch of protein, so it has about 8 grams of protein per 1 cup.
I never would have known. To me, it seems like a rice, so I never would have thought protein, quinoa, protein, rice.
Yep, and it looks like a seed, but it's actually a
Right.
grain.
It's so, and it comes in different colors.
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does.
So, yeah.
I've
we
only
did-
seen it white like that.
Aztec red is my favorite.
Yes. Yep.
So
Is there a
pretty.
difference in the flavor of it?
Not really. I
No,
don't
not
know.
really.
It's
It's
just
like a
aesthetically
general
pleasing.
nutty flavor
Yeah.
for all varieties.
Yeah, yeah.
quinoa has become like the food of choice for so many students, and we have it on campus in our cafeterias as well.
Yeah, it's a nice-
It's great.
Yeah, and it's a good gluten-free alternative too.
All right, we're gonna let you cook. Let's see. Make this.
Okay.
So let's see. And if you need any assistance, we're here.
Okay, I'll try to make this as easy as possible. So we're gonna start with the quinoa. And this I have about 2 cups cooked. And then
And
we're
the
gonna
quinoa,
add-
when it's
Seems like it's going to be mostly quinoa in this salad. Okay.
Yep.
well, but you know when the quinoa is cooked, I just want people to see, it has like a pearly color to it too, right?
Yeah, and it has like a meaty part, and then there'll be like a little tiny ring.
Yeah, it's
around.
beautiful.
So I have kale that's already chopped up.
Oh wow, that's pretty.
Thank you.
Still massaging my piece
I
over
think you
here.
should. You're hired.
Well,
you come over.
I figure I'll toss it in when
It
we
might take
when we
a
do our
while if you
sample.
do it at that quantity.
I know.
Just added dried cherries.
Yum.
Oh.
2 cups of.
And you know
I'm
what,
sorry,
look-
2 pears, which.
But look at the colors. It's
Yeah.
holiday colors.
It's very pleasing.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
and if you really wanted to make this a true superfood salad, you could actually substitute the dried cherries with goji berries, because that's another superfood that packs a lot of vitamin C.
And it's become very popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Some toasted pecans,
Wow.
and then I have
What are
actually.
we
Can I
going to
have
do next?
this?
What's-
I'm
what
going to
is-
use this one right here.
What's this?
So that's salt.
I love salt. I'm going to give it back to you because I like it too much.
Okay, so I have olive oil or extra virgin olive oil. I love to use that in my salads. It's a great monounsaturated fat, the healthy kind of fats, and it has some nice flavor to it. I'm adding white balsamic vinegar.
Oh.
I like to use white balsamic vinegar because it doesn't color everything and make it
Oh,
brown
brown.
like the
Oh
normal
my
balsamic vinegar
God.
to
Brilliant.
That is so smart.
I have some maple syrup.
Ooh. Now here I was thinking that might be apple cider vinegar.
Is
I
that
was
what you
trying to
thought?
figure out what that was. Yeah.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Keeping us
And
on our toes.
a little bit of Dijon mustard.
Oh, wow.
That's going to help with the emulsification of the vinaigrette.
So the white balsamic, I have to say, I didn't even know it came in white. Hard to find?
You can pretty much find it at any grocery store.
You can.
Yeah.
Does it have
just need to look
the same
harder.
basic flavor?
Yes, it does. Pretty much. I would say it's the darker, the original balsamic vinegar, or the typical balsamic vinegar will have a little bit more of a caramely flavor.
I think that's an interesting tip to use the mustard to help it all.
Emulsify, yeah.
Wow, I mean, you didn't really use a lot there at all.
Nope.
I'm not like a huge mustard fan, but I do like a little little sprinkle here and there.
I love mustard. I
So
love
I-
every bit of every ingredient there. I'm all excited.
So I'm adding a little bit of salt and some fresh ground pepper.
Yum.
And then another nice easy carrier for a vinaigrette is like a container like this, or even a Tupperware container. So I'm just going to shake that up. And hopefully
that's
I
good.
won't splash high.
So could you make that in advance?
Oh yes, you can make this entire salad in advance. This is the type of salad that actually gets better like a day or 2 after you make
because
it.
kale, I've done that before where kale, it's so hearty, it kind of like holds it in, but it doesn't get limp.
Wow, is that beautiful?
Yum.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a little bit of the vinaigrette, and then all you really do is just toss it together.
I actually forgot we had quinoa in there.
I know
so
there's
many
a
good things
lot of
happening.
stuff.
Oh,
It's,
it's
very
beautiful.
colorful.
Yeah.
This is also great for a lunch if you want to take
Yes.
take it for lunch, and you could even fold some grilled chicken chopped up in there. It's a
it's-
very versatile salad. That's why I love
Yeah.
it so much.
And easy prep time.
Yes, very easy. Like I said, all of these ingredients you can probably purchase prepared ahead for you.
Do you know, it's interesting with quinoa. I make my own quinoa, and I always buy the one that's pre-rinsed because I find even if I buy and rinse it, the one that says rinse it ahead of time, it's still bitter.
Yes, there's a specific phytochemical, and the name escapes me right now, but if you don't rinse it, it's hard for our bodies to break down. So it ends up leading to like stomach aches and it causes some discomfort. But that's why they always say to rinse or pre-rinse your quinoa.
But for convenience, having it pre-made is wonderful.
Yes.
Like that.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know we were going to have dinner tonight.
I know, I feel so
And a healthy
spoiled.
one.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
unusual for
basically
me.
it.
Wow.
Okay.
That's great. We got all excited about this.
I didn't actually know we were sampling it, so you really made my night.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Wow.
Now I get to finally toss my
Thank
massage piece in there.
Get your massage. Here you go.
All right,
Here's your napkin.
I'll dive in.
Here you are, Karen.
Oh,
you.
wow. The salad dressing, you can really taste all the different things going on in there.
So this salad dressing, I think I just want to have in my refrigerator.
Yeah.
And it's very light.
Here you are.
I like the tanginess
Oh,
at
it's
the
delicious.
end.
Thank you.
It balances out very well.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
And the pears are wonderful.
Yes. And again, if they're interchangeable, you can actually use chopped apple if you'd like. You could throw some cheese in here.
I
Wow.
could see a little bit of feta cheese going nicely.
Yeah.
Give it that saltiness.
It's great. And our viewers, we want you to know you're going to be able to try this too. Not here, but we're going to have the recipe for you. Come on down.
So when you're preparing, since we kind of mentioned holidays, and this might be a great holiday salad, I'm wondering if maybe you can give us some tips for preparing maybe a holiday. Entertaining is big right this time of year. Maybe some tips that you can give our viewers about how they might prepare tried and true practices you might have.
I would say organization is key. That's one of my biggest tools I use. So I'll always write a list of things that I need to do, things I can get done ahead of time, probably like a week or two before the holidays, and that's what keeps me going. That's like my guideline, and I always refer to it.
Great.
So anything you can buy, any dry ingredients you can buy ahead of time, obviously save yourself the step rather than waiting till like maybe 2 days before the holidays to get all your shopping done. The dry ingredients can sit in your pantry and obviously won't go bad. Save your perishables to the very end. Any steps you can do, whether it's preparing vegetables and then maybe freezing them, that's always beneficial. Anything you can do to get ahead, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
That's great.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
And probably using seasonal fruits and vegetables, right?
Yes, exactly. If you want to keep it local or healthy, there are tons of recipes now that you can access online, healthier recipes that will as substitutes for what you would normally make. If you're interested in staying local with the seasons, then that's always beneficial.
That's great.
So that's actually a good segue to a plug for the Sargent Kitchen that you do.
Sargent Choice Test Kitchen
It's-
at Boston University.
It's
right?
so great because that's really what you guys are doing every week. You have folks coming to your home and practicing healthier versions of recipes. And we've actually demoed a few
did.
on the show.
Fudgy black bean brownies,
They
we
are
did.
my favorite.
They
I
are
actually
mine, too.
only make those as a dessert now.
And you've actually made them a little bit differently too. You
yes,
spiced them up
I,
a little.
I put cayenne pepper in them.
Ah.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
I'll have to give you the recipe. It's
like a-
really
yeah.
spectacular.
I know. Sometimes I debate if I should tell people or not because half the people are like, I don't know, and then the other part, oh yeah, let me see what's going
They're so
on there.
good. But it's interesting about healthy eating, and we're seeing it on college campuses, how important it is. And I think the students know that eating in a healthy manner, exercising, stress management, and the arts, of course,
Yeah, absolutely.
give them a healthier lifestyle. So I love doing it. It's so much fun. And you've been there before, and I welcome both of you to come to it too. So any last thoughts for the holidays? I want to just comment that many times at the holidays we overeat. I was told at Thanksgiving, the reason I had a tummy ache was I ate 3 popovers? And I looked at them.
You had to be told that?
No, my tummy hurt, and I said, I didn't overeat. They said, you ate 3 popovers. But I ate all the other stuff. But I think the reason I mention it, over the holidays, we have a tendency to overeat. I'm wondering if there's any strategies we could do to not have that happen with food.
I think it's just being mindful and being aware of what's going on. I think one of the number one reasons we tend to overeat is because you see so much food everywhere you go, with its holiday parties, family and friends dropping by, the holidays themselves, the cookie making. If you work with anyone, any kind of representative or a sales associate, they're coming by and dropping off gifts, and it's usually in the form of food. So it's very yes,
like that.
It's very distracting. I mean, obviously, you're grateful for gifts that friends and family give you, but sometimes it can be a little bit too much. So I would say my motto is everything in moderation. So allow yourself something, but don't overindulge. And I know that's kind of easier said than done, but I think, again, it goes back to being mindful. Like, just be aware of your surroundings and what's in front of you. And even like one of the rules I use, I ask myself, do I want it or do I need it? You know, to put myself in check.
Do I want it? Do I
Well, these
need
are
it?
good tips because I'm doing a tree trimming with my friends tonight.
Are
we
you?
already have the eggnog in the fridge. And
But that's such a good point. One of the things that I've tried to do is I have smaller plates.
Exactly. Yep.
And that seemed to help me. I also have white plates, and I find that that's, you know, I enjoy just the artistic look of my plate as well. I have to admire it and not eat it all up, or go for a second helping, which is the issue.
Yeah.
But these are great tips. We're so happy that you're on our show.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
That
you
was
for the
a-
delicious
That was a great point you made about the smaller plates, and I also read somewhere, along with having a smaller plate, if you take bites and then put your fork down and try to talk to somebody, that way it slows down your whole eating process.
Hey,
That's very practical.
that's very practical because I have a tendency to eat very fast. So we all put our plates down.
Yeah.
So
Because we have to talk
we
to
are
each
talking.
other.
But we'll eat it later, but we'll eat it slow. But thank you. This was great.
You're
It's
very
beautiful.
welcome.
Terrific.
I want to just put it one more time so people can see how pretty it looks. It's beautiful. Thanks so much. So we're going to make a shift now to Thai.
Well, from the culinary arts,
Culinary arts to
arts at Boston University.
yeah. So Thai, we've been working together for a while.
Yeah.
I feel very honored to be on the Art Council. And you are doing so much at BU to advance art, to bring arts into the classroom, to make it part of the infrastructure at BU. So we want to just talk about some of the things that you're doing that are
Absolutely.
innovative. So just start.
Well, I'll start by saying, to clarify, that my role is in some ways a very unique role at universities. My job is university-wide, and I'm there for 2 primary reasons. One is to engage students in the arts, and 2, to raise the visibility of the arts at Boston University so that more and more people understand what we actually have happening on campus, and that the vast majority of it is free and open to the public.
Wow.
And there are many positions across the country similar to mine, and we all do slightly different things. But really, my job is to support art makers and art scholars on campus, and to make sure that our students are taking as much advantage of all of the things that are happening as they can during their time. Because the university, and I, of course, and you, believe that the arts is not just a way of expressing yourself, but it is integral to personal development, to building community, and to gaining knowledge.
Yeah,
So,
it's great.
yeah.
Now you have a slideshow. Would you like to go through that first?
Sure.
Let's put up the
Yeah.
slideshow, and we have it right there, and we can ask Ben to advance the slides for us, and then we can talk through them.
Sure, that's a very simple, the first slide is just our basic mission with our social media. Please feel free to follow us on social media.
Yeah, it's great.
One of the things that we do is what we call a signature event, and so those are focused on bringing national and internationally acclaimed artists and scholars to Boston University. It may be hard to tell, but that is David Byrne from the Talking Heads talking to a noted neuroscientist, Steven Pinker, and that was the first event that we actually did as an institution called Are We Musical? Are We Born Musical? And it was this whole conversation between a neuroscientist and a musician about the nature of humanity. So it was beautiful.
Wow.
And
That's unique.
the other one was artist Maya Lin, who
She's
visited
amazing.
campus recently and has been doing a lot of work around social justice and environment. So we do kind of grassroots programs with students too. We call them the Arts Insiders. And it's really primarily targeted towards first-year and international students so that they get a chance to meet new people who might have similar interests and get to explore the city. And we take them to plays and exhibits and art making, glass blowing, ceramics things. We try to take them to things off campus that they can't get on campus. So if it's a play, it's going to be something very different than you would find on our on-campus School of Theater, because we do have a fantastic School of Theater that we encourage them to go to. One of the great things that we do as an institution, and I love this when I got here because much of it was already happening, we have institutional memberships currently now at 4 museums plus the Boston Symphony Orchestra. And that means that our students can go to those institutions completely free.
Wow.
At any time that they're open to the public, they show their BUID and they can go in to the Museum of Fine Arts, the Institute for Contemporary Art, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, the Harvard Art Museums, and they also can get what's called a BSO college card, which gives them access to a number of free concerts at the Boston Symphony Orchestra.
That's incredible. That's such a value. I mean, as a Boston resident, I try to take advantage of reduced, sometimes free passes from the library. But we have such an amazing network of museums.
We do.
Here, that's such a nice asset
It's an
to the
incredibly
students.
culturally rich city.
Yes.
Yeah, and we want students, because Boston University considers itself the city's university.
Yeah.
We try to encourage students to participate in that. And I am proud to say that last year, over 22,000 students and BU community members took advantage of those memberships.
Wow,
So,
that's incredible.
That's
What a
amazing.
service.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's very exciting.
Now, we have another slide here that talks about the arts grants,
Yeah.
which is an amazing initiative that you started.
Yes, it was actually the first program that we launched, and it's a way to support faculty, students, and staff across the university, where we offer certain pools of money, either for program, and then we've expanded them in the last couple of years into research. So we now support undergraduate and graduate student research in the arts.
Wow.
So we've had,
cool.
so last summer, an undergraduate student in engineering wanted to work on developing a better, more nuanced electronic trumpet. So as you can imagine, playing the trumpet live, you get a lot of nuance and sort of slides, but the electronic ones, it's very singular. It's a note. And so he was working on how to make it more nuanced. So he got a grant from us and the University Research Opportunities Program to do that. So really fantastic stuff, and our students are brilliant. So we love supporting them in that.
That's incredible. That's such a unique program
It
and so
is.
needed when you think about how sometimes underlooked the arts are in terms of
Can be.
funding opportunities and such unique opportunities like that trumpet, for example.
I know, and for us, we are all about the interdisciplinary nature of us as a university. I mean, we have a College of Fine Arts that does conservatory-style training in theater, music, and visual arts, but we are a Research One institution, so we have a School of Public Health, we have Sargent College, we have an engineering school, all of whom have national reputations. And so when we have those students who have interest in music and engineering, we want to support that. And that's one of the things we talk about, sort of contemporary students. There isn't really very many students that come to BU or that go to college anywhere that are interested in just one thing. They've grown up, the students that we have often played instruments or danced for years or been in plays, and they want to continue that in some way. Yeah, and so we really are trying to support that.
That's incredible. So
That's
it sounds
beautiful.
like actually a lot of these programs are very student driven as well.
Yes.
They can be,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
They can be.
So and there's even when we give a grant to a faculty member for an arts program, the conditions are that program is open and marketed directly towards students, and we will help them do that. So they get us the materials, and we will help spread the word so that we can make sure that students are taking advantage of things.
Yeah, so and it also sounds like you're working very sort of cross functionally and cross-department
and in
crossing.
disciplines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cross-disciplinary.
Which is really, I think, important. You could look at our dental program, and they go to the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum.
Yeah. They have a whole training session on what's called visual thinking strategies.
Wow.
We do that at Sargent, too,
They
but
take
there you
all
go.
dentists, every one of them goes to the Gardner Museum, and a curator and their faculty member, they talk about what do you see. And the idea is that when the four of us are looking at a painting, we're all going to notice different things. So Karen might notice more about how the body is positioned because of her field. I might notice lighting and color differently than what you two might notice. And so the idea is that as a dentist, you sort of think like, oh, I look at an X-ray and I'm going to see it, and you're going to see the same thing, and you're going to see the same thing because it is what it is, and that's in fact not true. And that's also the same with medical, any medical field. And so visual thinking strategies is actually sort of happening across the country in most health issues.
It's really fantastic. I've gotten to experience it.
Yeah.
And I really encourage you can contact them to see if it may be
Yep.
something that you could experience. I think with culinary arts, it could be remarkable.
Yes.
To do that. Because one of the things we commented on when you were putting together this dish was how visually appealing it is. So Ty's. So we have a little bit of time left. Ty, can you tell us about an upcoming event
Yeah.
in the Access?
Yes,
Dance?
yes. And
Love
this is an
it.
event that Karen has actually partnered with us to work on. So we are bringing in, we've done a number of artist residencies, and in the spring of 2017, which sounds weird to say, but it's coming very fast, we're bringing in Axis Dance Company, which is an integrated dance company based in California. And integrated dance is dance with persons of all abilities and disabilities. So that's integrated dance. They're coming for a 5-day residency. They'll do master classes, workshops. They'll do class visits, including a number of students from Sargent College and our honors program, as well as we have created and developed in consultation with people across the state and actually across New England, a symposium on performing arts and disability to address issues of leadership, training, and inclusion.
Wow.
So it's going to be not just a wonderful learning experience, which it has been for me personally just in planning this thing, but just a really exciting opportunity to showcase what the human body can do, whatever size and shape it comes in, and whatever limitations or abilities there are. So it's a wonderful company with an international reputation. And we're so looking forward to having
And that's happening
And
this
every
next-
program, every one of those events that's open to the public is free.
Totally free.
We do not charge.
Yeah. Because
So
there's a big performance that's
there'll be a performance Saturday night
Saturday
of
night.
that week. Yep, March
and
18th.
And then you have one where children in the
Yes.
local community are coming.
Yes, we've been really pleased that we have done with our last residencies. We've done 2 since in the past as well, and we work with high schools and middle schools in the area to do matinee performances. And so we have it's a 200-seat auditorium roughly, and we already have about 165 high school kids from the region, vast majority of which are from public schools, coming to a shortened performance and conversation with the artists
That's great.
on that Friday. So.
It's going to be very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm honored to be part of that with you.
Well,
but
we
it
are
was your
so thrilled to
inspiration.
have you helping us
Yeah.
put it all together and advising us and connecting us with the right students and people who are interested.
Well,
so.
I think what's going to be great, particularly for the outreach with the high school students, there's going to be talking points and study guides, so the teachers will be able to prepare the students and then reinforce the content that they're, or the conversations that they're having. One last thing before we conclude, tell us about the new Arts Center.
Oh yeah, so Boston
exciting.
University is committed to building, and it's actually started. You can see it if you drive by on Commonwealth
can
Avenue.
hear it.
Yes, you can hear it.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. I have seen this.
We're building a theater, so
Oh, wow.
right on the Charles River campus.
Oh, my
It's
gosh.
right up.
Ooh.
I don't know what the actual address will be, but it's right next to. It's west of 808 Commonwealth Avenue. So it is next to 808 is also a gallery, and then the College of Fine Arts is across the street in 855. And so that's going to be completed this fall, or this spring. I'm sorry, this spring, March or April. and we'll be operational this coming fall, because now we're basically in winter, even though it's not December 21st. And then after that, the College of Fine Arts is renovating their first floor, which will include opening up what are now bricked up windows of a gallery. And so we really are going to create an arts sector of our campus, which is going to be very lively and exciting. And
Very
we're talking
exciting.
about all kinds of fun public art and lighting things. And
That's
gonna
so great and so needed in Boston. I mean, we talked about how we do have great museums and whatnot, but I definitely think there's been a push recently, but a much needed push to have more art and more access to it. So.
And what I love is that the majority of it is students. It's they're young folks.
Yeah.
They're pushing boundaries. They're doing things differently than we did in our time, and so it's very exciting to see kind of the art that they produce.
Yeah,
It's
so this
great.
spring is going to be a very big time for you guys. That's
Gonna have to put it on your calendar.
something,
to come.
something nice to look forward to as well.
That's great. I hope you'll join us.
Yes.
It's really, really exciting.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Well,
Thank you
Nicole,
both.
Ty, thank you both so much for joining us today.
My
We
pleasure.
had
You're welcome.
such a wonderful time learning about both of you. Thank you for the salad. I know a new recipe I'm going to add to my rotation.
This might be something at open hours too. I'll have to
I'm
tell
going to go look
Sergeant
for
Troy.
white balsamic
Yes,
vinaigrette.
I
I love
wine of the
it.
night.
And all my food is brown because I love it.
I do too, because you can put it on ice. Well, of course, I'm going right to ice cream with balsamic.
Yeah.
I know. What are you going to do?
Well, again, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining us. We always have such a great time,
It's wonderful.
and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.